Now, in Romans chapter 12, the same person that wrote Galatians says something more about this in Romans chapter 12 and verse 1, where he says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. So again, Paul tells the church at Rome, you need to lay your life down. Jesus said, unless you are willing to give up your life, you are going to lose it. He said that you needed to be crucified. Well, this ties back into something that Paul told the church at Rome as well. In Romans chapter 6, starting in verse 1, what shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? Certainly not. How shall we who died to sin live any longer in it? Or do you not know that as many of us as were baptized into Christ Jesus were baptized into his death? Paul said, I've been crucified. Jesus said, unless you're willing to be crucified, give up your life, you can't follow me. Now, going on here, I want you to notice in verse 6 what this was. In verse 6, he says, knowing this, that your old man was crucified with him. So this ties back to what he's going to say here in Galatians. In Galatians chapter 5, and reading on here, in verse 24, and those who are Christ have crucified the flesh. Well, what does that mean?
If you are enjoying my content, please subscribe, like, comment, and maybe even consider sharing with friends and family. Thank you for listening.